Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, but don't get too close to the television. It causes sterility. On today's show, we have Christena Bradley, Tucker Atkinson, Tariah Mouton, and Christian Velazquez. You're going to want to watch this.
Thank you to the teachers for encouraging me when I wasn't sure where to start, for seeing my potential even when I didn't, for inspiring me to reach farther and try harder.
Thank you, MCC. You helped me change my future.
Find your wings at MCC.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Christena Bradley. How are you doing?
I'm great. How about you, Mr. Lowell?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Now, you are the program coordinator for our respiratory therapy program.
Correct.
And you're also one of the instructors.
That's correct.
So you have a lot on your plate. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now, how long have you been at MCC?
It's going on 5 years in July.
How's everything been so far?
It's been pretty good so far, just a lot, like you said, on my plate. That's it.
Okay, and once you kind of get used to it, they throw something else on you.
That is
this has been my experience here.
Absolutely correct. This is my actual first year going into my second year being program director.
Okay.
And so I had a different role as director of clinical education, and so I kind of slid on into this position.
Okay, and as you said, they're going well right now.
Going
they're going well
fair,
so far.
yes.
Yeah. Now, how many students do you typically have in your respiratory therapy? How many new people do you bring in every semester? You don't accept people every semester, right?
No.
It's only in August.
Only in August. We take people in the fall. We usually take 14 students.
Okay. And what kind of prereqs do they have to complete before they can get into your program?
So we actually make them have A&P 1 and 2 with lab, and you have to, of course, pass that. But in the spring, if you are taking those classes and actually pass those classes, of course, it's contingent upon that.
Okay. Now, when you say pass those classes, are we talking C or above?
C or above. We do not take D's.
Okay. Do you have any ACT requirements?
17 at least on the ACT.
And that's cumulative?
Yes.
Okay. And so A&P 1 and 2 with lab, with a C or above.
Correct.
17, and any other prereqs that you have?
No, that's it. If you have not taken the ACT or have a lower score on the ACT, we do allow the acuplacer.
Okay. Okay. Now, during the course of your program, which is a 2-year program,
Correct.
4 semesters, right? 5 semesters.
5
so
semesters.
It's the summer?
We go during the summer as well.
Okay. So
we
a
do,
5-semester
yes,
program.
yes.
So during that, do they take other college courses?
It just depends on whether or not our first semester, then you are required for your 15 hours to actually take an extra class. That's per financial aid status.
Okay.
And then in the fall of the following year, then you can take an extra class because we don't meet that 15 hours. It's not technically required, but in order to get the 15 hours that's needed for financial aid, you will have to take an extra class.
And there's a huge difference from full-time and part-time as far as money is concerned.
As far as money, but I don't get into the money piece, and so I just tell them what the financial aid people and everybody else tell me, just the 15 hours as far as money-wise.
What kind of students, and I know you can't determine this by when you're looking at, their scores and looking at, but typically speaking in your program, what kind of student are you looking for? I'm
looking for one that's actually enthusiastic, one that wants to get out there, have drive. Respiratory therapy, a lot of people think that it's easy. It's like a downgrade from nursing, but that's not necessarily the case. We have very rigorous activities that we do. We go into the clinical setting, which is in our second semester. We put on ventilators, we do breathing treatments, incentive spirometries. We have different specialties that actually branch out from just respiratory therapy.
And important things that you need to know how to do because patients need these things and don't do well without them.
Right. When we saw COVID come, that kind of changed respiratory therapy for a lot of people in their eyes, because the fact of, I didn't know respiratory therapists done all those things. I associated breathing treatments and not really mechanical ventilation and high flow nasal cannulas and babies and adults. And we see everybody. We go over the whole entire hospital working.
Oh my. Now, with the program that you're, when, because medical field is just exploding, everything medical, when they finish this program, is there a national board or anything that they must take, or they need to take, or can take?
Oh, they have to. Now, within our program, at the end, we have a temporary license that we do about April or so, and they should receive those in May. That's good for 6 months, but a lot of the hospitals here do not take that. They want you to pass your national boards, which you are eligible to take the day after you graduate.
Okay.
And so I signed that up. We actually do a voucher, and so your actual test is paid for.
Okay.
And so all you have to do is go, take it, pass it, and we have certified respiratory therapists and registered respiratory therapists. Our program, with it being 2 years, of course, our goal is for you to be a registered respiratory therapist.
Sure, and once they pass that national board, they can go anywhere in America.
You can go anywhere with stipulations.
Okay.
Since we are actually housed in Mississippi, you only have your Mississippi license unless you go and you sign up to actually get your Louisiana, Maine, any of those places.
Are those difficult to get?
No,
you don't
sir.
mind me asking?
No,
Okay.
sir. It's a money thing, and you just show, okay, I graduated, I have my certification, that kind of thing.
Okay. Now, if someone is interested in continuing their education after the 2 year, and you have the AA, that's a 2-year AAS degree, right?
Correct.
So if they're interested in going further, can they?
Yes, they can actually go now. I only know of one actual college, and it's fully online, Boise State, that does a bachelor's in respiratory, and they actually have a master's in respiratory. Me personally, I have a degree from UMMC with my bachelor's in health science, and I went on to Mississippi State and got a master's of applied science, which education-wise workforce education from Mississippi State University.
Well, when they complete, just say they're going for a 2-year degree, when they complete that 2-year degree, what kind of jobs are available for them?
Oh, goodness. We do have, like I said, specialties, but within that, you can go to any place around here as far as hospital-wise, but you also have specialty exams like neonatal specialty exam, asthma educator, pulmonary function technologist, sleep lab. And we do all of those things. And if you want to get into those specialties, of course you want to take those specialty exams.
Sure. So you don't have to just stop at one thing. You can pursue other things,
Correct.
making you more employable. Now, just let me ask you this, because people are always interested in this: the money.
Oh, goodness.
Is the money okay when you finish, and can you live on what you're making?
Oh, definitely. You can live on what you're making. If you're like me, then that was my actual first job, was respiratory therapy, and I went from making nothing to making about $18, $19 an hour, which it has went up now because, well, for one, demand. For one, I've been out of school 17 years. So
I was just going to say 2 or 3.
17 years. And so that money has went up, as well as, since the education is going up, you have career ladders with that as well.
Do you see, technology causes changes in everything. Do you see changes coming in the respiratory therapy program? Can you foresee anything going on?
Definitely. As far as our ventilators, as far as what we utilize as equipment and everything like that, it's more so technologically advanced. We're moving on up, as they would say.
Okay, so if anyone is interested in your program, how do they get in touch with the necessary people?
Well, you can sign up. Of course, you have to have an application for MCC. You have to belong to MCC. You can call me, or you can get in touch with Miss Laquita Chambers. That's our advisor.
Okay, so just go and contact you or Miss Laquita Chambers, and y'all will set them in the right direction.
We will do anything possible to get us some students.
Listen, thank you so much for being on the show today. I want to have you back.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we are back, and we have the absolutely phenomenal Tucker Atkinson and Tariah Mouton.
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or an insult. Just
But welcome both of you. I'm so happy that you're here. Now, you are recruitment coordinators for Meridian Community College,
Yes, sir.
right?
That's right.
And so what does your job entail? What do you do? What don't you do? What don't you do?
what we don't do is give the kids their money when they get here, their scholarship money. We just get them on campus.
Okay.
On campus, let them tour through campus, figure out what they might want to major in, what they might be interested in, show them all the different programs, clubs, organizations. Everything before they start school is where we come in.
So you're the pretty much the first people that many of our students see when they first come to
we
MCC.
get them in. We
You
get
get
them
them
in.
here. And
Yeah.
so do you have to go out to all of the local schools? Do you have to, or do
We
you?
do. We sometimes we just have on-campus events as well, but majority of the time we'll go out to different, like the local schools in Lauderdale County, and we get them. Sometimes we have schools that's maybe outside of the county that want us to come too. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Because if it's outside the county, we have to be invited in, right?
No, if it's outside the county, we can't go at all. They have to
Okay.
come to us, but we
Yeah.
can go. Like I think Tariah and Mandy earlier this year went over to Choctaw County in Alabama
Okay.
and
So,
recruited
yeah.
at that high school.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now, you both have been recruitment coordinators since July,
Yes,
right?
sir.
July. Is it what you thought it was going to be? When you first heard the job, recruitment coordinator, and then you get into the job, recruitment coordinator, is it what you thought it was going to be?
Pretty much for me it was, because recruiting, that means, you're getting people to come here, or like you just getting them to buy in and come to your school or team, and that's something I'm pretty much used to anyway, recruiting with basketball. So it's pretty much what I pretty much knew it was going to be.
What about you, Chuck?
Well, I did it as a student here. I was a student recruiter. I watched Ashley, Desi, Brandon, Mandy do it my 2 years here.
So you pretty much knew what the
and
job was going to entail.
I knew a lot of what the other side of the desk was, not from behind the desk. And now that I have this job and I see this side where I'm at my desk all day and I'm sitting and I'm answering emails, there's a lot more of a business side to it than just going out to these schools, talking to kids, hosting events on campus, that I probably didn't think of that much as a student there. But after a few months now, I realize it's almost 50-50, if not greater, of the planning at your desk and making sure everything's good to go.
Well, now, as a student recruiter, we sometimes have to put on big events and big things happening. I think we have something happening next week, right?
We do.
And so what is happening next week, and what is your involvement?
So Meridian High School is bringing their entire junior class to campus next Friday for an
14
Eagle
million
experience.
students.
That's right. So we're going to get them on campus. We're going to try to warm them up some, play some games, give them a little information in between. And then in the past, when I was a student recruiter here, we would take half the group on a tour of campus. The other half would go to the Quave for a campus life fair, where we show them some of our programs, some of the organizations you can get involved in on campus. And we're trying to bring that back. I don't think they've done that in the past years. So starting this next coming up Friday, we're offering to any programs, any organizations that want to come have a table, showcase what you have, try to get students, you're welcome to it.
Will it be an all-day event?
For the most part, I think it'll run probably around from 8:30 to probably 2. The campus life fair will be about 10 to 12. They'll eat lunch. We'll play the games in the morning.
Okay, and so what are you going to be right there just?
Yeah, we both going to be there just making sure everything's going smoothly. Our students, our Ivy League recruiters, making sure they, having everybody going to where they need to be, and just.
I tell people all the time, it's like when you see an event and and it's running smoothly, most people don't understand how much work went into that.
Yes.
Because for something to run smoothly and everybody to have their table and to have everything that they need, equipment being out, all the stuff that you need for your games and this and that, there is a lot of planning and work that went into that.
See, and we just make sure we just be like 2 steps ahead. So if everybody right here will go be doing, like if we're going somewhere next, like touring, we just be like 2 steps ahead just to make sure the teachers know we come in and stuff like that.
Do you see any changes in the recruitment process? You know, have you witnessed any, or do you think that something's like there will be some more virtual stuff, more? Do you think that are people asking for more online tours?
Not tours necessarily. I think just in the few months I've been here, I've seen a drastic change in the attitude towards coming to MCC from a high school standpoint because of COVID and, you know, us being at home, having to learn online and stuff. That cheaper option of coming here to MCC and not having to pay so much money to go off when you have 2 more years where it's affordable makes a big difference now than it did, say, when I was in high school. And it was just, how can I get out of Meridian? How can I avoid having to go to MCC? I really don't care. I just want to get out.
And people think, I think they think that because we've got the tuition guarantee and we've got that it's just going to be the 13th and 14th grades of high school, and all you're going to see are the people that you just saw that you were trying to get away from. But that's not the case. You know, a lot of we've got a lot of people coming from a lot of different areas, and MCC is still considered one of the best community colleges in the nation. And that's what I tell people when I see them too. I try to do some recruiting, and you know, y'all can pay me later. But but I tell people, it's like, look, I thought that when I came here a long time ago. I'm like, I'm just going to see the same people. I'm just going to do the same, and it wasn't the case at all. And that was your experience as well.
I think so. It's definitely down to how you want to do it. You can, if you choose to, go to class, go home, and you will only see those same people you saw in high school because that's all you choose to hang out with and meet. So it's completely up to you of how much you want to put yourself out there to meet new people. Like I like to tell people my first few years here, or my first year here, didn't know many people. That second year, I felt a little more comfortable. I reached out, branched out, made a ton of new friends, and that I still keep in contact with today.
Yes, I do too. 50 million years later.
Right.
Yes, same.
Well, listen, I want to thank you. So it's next week, and what's the date again?
February 3rd.
February 3rd, beginning at
8. The campus life fair, if they're interested, is at 10.
And 40 million people will be on campus.
Hopefully so. Fingers
Get
crossed.
ready. Okay, thank y'all so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we are here with Mr. Christian Velazquez. Did I say your name correctly?
Yes,
I did
sir,
not.
you
Did I
got it
not?
right.
Did
You
I?
did, you
I
did.
did. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, Christian, you are a student here at Meridian Community College. You are a sophomore. This is your second year.
Yes, sir.
And might I say that you are very involved at Meridian Community College. Okay. What kind of things are you involved in?
So currently I'm in PTK.
Okay. So you have to maintain a very good GPA to stay in PTK.
I try, yes, sir.
Okay.
Soccer player.
Okay. And how long have you been a soccer player?
Since I was like 3 years old.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
soccer player.
And then Ivy League recruiter.
An Ivy League recruiter, which
Yes,
takes
sir.
a little bit of your time. In our last interview, I talked to the people who tell you what kind of where to go and stuff.
My boss.
Your
My bosses.
How long have you been an Ivy League recruiter? Just this year, or was it
Last year as well. Yes,
Okay, so your freshman year as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's an interesting and a good way to learn everything on campus very quickly.
Yes, sir. They had us here in the summer training. Like we have a training session before we show up in August, and we do. They teach us how to give tours and just how to do Ivy League in general.
Now, you were originally from Chicago.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. How did you end up in Meridian, Mississippi?
That's a good question. So Chicago, as everybody knows, it's a really dangerous place, and my parents weren't really comfortable with us living up there, even though they had good jobs and everything. We had family down here. We came and visited, and they fell in love somehow with all the trees and the country people. So they said we have to move down here.
Okay, so
Here
your
we are.
parents moved down here as well?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. Okay, just everybody. Come
And my
on.
whole, my whole family.
Are they enjoying Meridian and Mississippi?
Yes, they love it. Yeah, they go out walks at like 10 o'clock at night around the cemetery at my, like, we have a cemetery close to my house, and they'll go walk like at 10 o'clock at night. I don't think you could do that in Chicago.
Now you say you play soccer here.
Yes,
and
sir.
You've been playing for quite a while.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you plan to continue playing soccer when you go on to a 4-year institution?
No, sir, unfortunately not. There's no teams that have my major and have a soccer team. So.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You think you'll miss it?
Oh yeah, I'll miss it for sure, but I'll find something else to do.
Okay. Now, where do you plan to go when you finish with us?
More than likely Mississippi State.
Okay, and then what are you majoring in?
Social work.
Okay, and we were talking about this off camera, but why are you drawn to social work, if you don't mind me asking?
No, that's a good question. When I was younger, I was adopted, and when I was younger, I had social workers come into my house a lot because it's part of the foster care system and stuff, checking on me, and they helped a lot growing up, so I thought it was pretty cool, and I had people helping me, so why not try to help other people?
And as I told you, we need good social workers, and we need more social workers. We do not have enough to take care of the issues that we have. Do you think that you might be a social worker here in Mississippi, or do you think you might try to go somewhere else?
Hey, if the pay's right, I guess so. I'll stay in Mississippi.
Well, the thing here is you'll have to get at least a master's degree. And was that in part of your
yes,
plan
sir.
anyway?
I plan on getting a master's and then a license in social work, so
Okay.
LSW, which means I
Can
can
you do all of that at State?
I'm not 100% sure, but
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you had other offers too, State, and were there other places that you thought about going?
Several D3 schools and things like that, but State has been, I talked to a lady from MSU Meridian, and she was telling me, explaining the social work program at State in Starkville, and she was telling me I should go there, so.
Okay. Well, now, how old were you when your family moved here to Meridian?
11.
You were 11,
Yes,
so
sir.
you've been here, and you were in our schools for a while.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I went to Newton County High School
Okay.
when I got here.
What was your biggest surprise coming here? I mean, when your family, they said, we're moving to Mississippi, what was your, first off, what was your first reaction? And then what do you think was your biggest surprise coming here?
So my biggest surprise was how nice the people were. Like, the Southern hospitality. Down there, nobody really talks to you. Like if you're walking down the street, they kind of like avoid speaking, or they're just like, I guess scared, you could say. They don't say anything. And down here, people will be driving and then they'll just put their hand up, which my family thought was weird, because they don't do that down there.
No, not at all. But so everything, do you think you've gotten a good education here?
Oh, 100%. I think more than I would have gotten down there. The schools were so populated, like very populated, and the student to teacher ratio is good down here, so I like that.
And not up there, you've got like twice as many.
Yeah, it's like 35, 40 to class.
Can you give any kind of individual personalized attention with that? I mean, as an instructor, I taught in high school for a while, and I would have classes of 42 sometimes, and there's no way to do what you're supposed to do. It's unfortunate.
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping that maybe your generation can make some changes.
Hopefully so.
To some of that, and have more teachers as needed, more social workers as needed. What are your plans, say, for the next 5 to 10 years? You have any? Have you been thinking about this? Are you a planner? Do you like to write things down and?
I think about it. I don't really write it down, but I plan on obviously getting a master's in social work, and then getting my license, and I'm planning on picking up coaching as well,
Okay.
because I think
Soccer,
that'll help
of
me,
course.
being social. Yes, sir. So
Okay.
that'll help me become more social and improve my interactions with children and kids and stuff like that.
You don't have any problem talking to anybody, and the reason I said that, I know him from the Student Success Center, because first off, the soccer players are required to come in for study hall, but you also come in and you always do your work, but you're always very communicative
Yes, sir.
with everyone. Have you always been like that?
Yeah, I think so. Since I was younger, I feel like I don't know. I feel like people that are more social are they're just more fun to be around. So,
But a lot of people have difficulty with that.
Yeah.
Do you think of yourself as more of an introvert or an extrovert?
extrovert for sure.
And see, I'm an extrovert too, and I love to be in front of people. And so, you know, introverts, when they're talking, you know, it's always a chore and it drains them. But extroverts, we tend to get energy from it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on and talking about your experience here, and hopefully that will encourage others to come and experience the MCC.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
I want to have you back on again when you become a licensed therapist.
Sounds good to me.
We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu.
On behalf of executive producers Tanisha Clark, Matt Milner, and media specialist Josh Taylor, as well as student producer Tanya Jenkins, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you next week.